gents, non-binary friends, and welcome to Shapes of Forms. This is a podcast where we talk about Neon Genesis Evangelion for 3 hours.
Amen.
It's not actually gonna be all that, probably.
It's not gonna be pure Ava,
but
it's gonna be high quantities of Ava.
It'll probably come up. Is the thing. Wow. Hello, Murray. Why is this running so badly? That's weird.
That's problematic.
No, okay. Seems fine now. Just needed a minute to, Homer Simpson working the turkey through. It says
anyway,
Tech 0.5.
Private eyes, they're watching you. They see your every move. Private eyes.
Why are we singing Hall & Oates?
Because he's posting those lyrics.
It is Out of Touch Thursday, but that's not the right song.
You're out of touch. I'm out of time. Out of my head when you're not around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time.
I like that song.
It's a really good song. Hall & Oates have a lot of excellent singles, and I'm sure they have a lot of really good album cuts too. Just that I haven't heard enough of their album.
I honestly don't know fuck all about Hall & Oates. But
they're from Philadelphia.
That I can't really explain why, but that just kind of seems correct.
I mean, yeah.
Hello.
So's Todd Rundgren, by the way. Hi, Lee.
But Shredney?
Yeah. Oh, I just opened a door.
Oh, okay. I thought you got up and left the room or something. I'm like,
no.
What's going on?
I did get up and leave the room. I'm just carrying the recording device with me.
You have infinite
I'm
mobility.
mobile.
Unlike me, who is bound by my recording setup.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about what immediately sprang to mind was "Entranced by the Wolf's Hook" by Belzer, but that song is
no idea what that is, Shrek. You're just gonna be honest
song
with you.
is a really vicious satire of Nazi black metal musicians.
I don't know if we're gonna get into some stuff on this episode. I don't know if I want to add that to the pile, to be quite honest with you.
It's a great song, and it was
I'm sure it is, yeah.
And I actually saw in a different thing where a person who I follow did a whole video about racism in metal. You had some really bad comments, and somebody was making, a quote-unquote joke listing racist bands, and then threw them, in terms of, bands that are great. It's threw in Bolzer, and it's you do know.
Whoa, okay. My whole recording setup just froze.
Hey, Trey.
Hello? Anybody?
I'm here.
Hi? Okay, I hear you. I see Trey. Typing
Trey?
the thing. Trey is working on things. Okay. My whole recording setup froze for a second. Your browser encountered an error while decoding the video. Am I still live?
Wait, what?
I am. Okay. I am. Just.
Hey, Lee, Murr, tell us if we're
on.
I
see that. Yeah, I see that we're live. I think Twitch might be having. I don't know what that was, to be honest with you.
That's weird. But yeah, it's just wow, you're so stupid. I was just thinking that, assholes...
You can hear us.
With bad opinions, always think that, even people making fun of them share their bad opinions.
Avenge me.
Hello, Trey.
Hello, Trey.
Gosh, moving is a pain.
So
Yeah.
apologies in yeah I understand.
Yeah.
I was gonna say apologies in advance for the inevitable density of Ava talk.
Well, it's Evangelion. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's like all I said before this, because I knew you would want to talk about it and I'd want to talk about it, was like earlier, was that now Jane is actually able to, as Mer predicted, detect bad Ava takes on sight. And
which is a curse.
It's a curse.
Why the hell?
It is a fucking curse.
I know why everything froze up. Fucking Dropbox opened and it's like bugging me to get an upgrade. Get the fuck out of here.
What the hell?
Get out of here.
That's so weird.
I don't want any. I use ShareX. Jerry uses Dropbox. It's not even. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Why would I get Dropbox? I have a Google subscription.
Yeah, that also.
I mean, yeah, I stick most of my things on Google Drive. I wouldn't. I think I technically do. I am signed up for free on like Dropbox and Mega.
Oh,
but I
so
don't use them that often.
It's one of those things where like just kind of happens ambiently to you, even if you don't know it.
Yeah, basically.
By the way, if anybody in the chat could just like comment anything that they can hear us, it would mean a lot. Just so I know that we're not flying blind here. Whatever the opposite of flying blind is, like flying into a...
Ray, which is bird, said hi. Yeah,
okay, cool.
Yeah, it
awesome.
can be heard and seen by Lee, so
good.
We're good.
So I'm using my fancy mic, but it's on my laptop rather than my desktop because what do you know? The apartment that I live in does not have wired Ethernet to the ports that are installed in the walls.
Oh no!
That's fun.
That's a.
Although I will say, Trey, you actually sound really good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I would say, oh lol, except that sucks.
I'm gonna take a picture of my setup right now just so you guys can tell
how
terrible it is.
Yeah, I'm morbidly curious.
My desk right now is a nightstand, and I am staring at the back of a headboard for not a headboard, a footboard, I guess, for the bed that I am going to be using because it's not fully built yet.
I fully. Yeah, I understand that feeling. I feel it deep in my soul.
There's something else we can talk about. I've been using the Wakaru emote a lot lately. That picture of... I forget which one's which. The short one from Pop Team Epic crossing her arms.
Oh yeah, her just like crossing her arms and...
I get it now.
Popko.
Yeah, Popko.
And then the tall one is Pipimi.
Yeah.
Popko, being like, is that how it is? I understand everything now. Does not understand.
Yeah.
It is a very good...
It's a very versatile picture. Alright, I'm gonna look at Trey's setup. Oh my.
It's a fucking mood.
Oh my, Trevor.
Isn't it awful?
Trey, man. I am...
That's a feel. That's a feel. No, like, I've seen worse.
I have
big moving energy.
Big moving energy.
You guys remember that picture a couple years ago that went viral of the guy that made his own fight stick out of a pizza box? That's only very vaguely related to this, but I think about that picture sometimes and it makes me laugh.
I think about many things sometimes, including Evangelion.
Yeah, I guess we should, get into that.
Let's stop fucking burying the lead every time it comes up.
What do you even say? It's kind of it's kind of one thing. Because, I have now seen, one of the most popular and widely acclaimed cartoons ever made.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's one of the most important.
Yeah, I have like, pretty much, not exactly, but like pretty much the standard line on it, which is like, oh, it's extremely, extremely good.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I just sort of don't know what to derive out of that would be interesting to talk about.
I mean, let's see. Okay. Stuff. Just me sharing some opinions and then throwing them out at you. Because now I can finally talk about these things because you've seen everything I've seen, plus the first Rebuild movie, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen the whole first Rebuild movie. I got tired last night and paused it about half an hour in.
That's understandable.
That last room was cash money.
Yeah.
But so you really have basically seen pretty much everything I've seen, with the exception of because I watched the director's cuts of the last couple episodes, because that's what our our little Heapers anime club did. So I've seen a couple minutes more footage than you have.
Yeah, but yeah, sure, hit me with something.
It's the one scene which I've told you about, which you can just look up, is where instead of introducing Kaoru when he actually is doing the piloting thing, they introduce him by he's watching an angel thing happen, and from a distance in ruins, and is talking to the Sele models, and they seem a little afraid of him. It's a weird, uncomfortable, but really interesting scene.
That's the whole show, Shredney.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, that's absolutely true. But basically, yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, so yeah, on the topic of Kaoru, that should have been a 6-episode arc, and they squished it into 20 minutes.
Can I be honest with you? I was shocked how little screen time the guy has.
Same.
I knew,
knowing he was in one or two episodes.
Well, I didn't know that much. I knew he didn't show up till the very end of the series. I was expecting 2 or 3. Nah, the guy is on screen for literally maybe 18 minutes.
And
sure
Shandy falls in love with him in that time frame.
And it's particularly frustrating because he's one of the, and this was what actually really frustrated me, was he actually is one of the most emotionally important characters to what the story is saying about Shinji. Is oh shit, and that final scene of him just looking out over the water and grieving is so fucking horrible.
Sorry.
And it's
nope,
it had 20 minutes of setup, not even an arc's worth of setup. 20 minutes of setup. You could have given an actual, real, proper character arc to that.
Yeah, it's
it's
most
such
of
a good scene.
It's most of an episode.
Yeah, and then
I think we need to answer Murr's pressing questions.
What was his?
Is an Eva some kind of Freudian thing, and is Tony Soprano still alive at the end of the show?
I think that Tony Soprano was probably killed with First Impact. Or Second Impact?
Shut the fuck up. Isn't First Impact in the lore of the series is
no, Second Impact is what I meant.
Yeah, the first one was the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs or some shit.
Yeah, but he was. I'm pretty sure Tony Soprano was killed in Second Impact. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's very rude of you, Shredney.
But okay. So but yeah, but I do think, with respect to Kaoru, in this, with the scenes where he's used in End of Evangelion, I think were incredibly effective, and that made me a little more okay with how little they used him in the show, because they actually did something with him instead of just like what they do in the last 2 episodes, which just throw him out completely.
Yeah.
Like, there's payoff to that. And
I
like
mean,
the whole
yeah,
thing
I guess that's.
And it's
fair.
like, and it's really like the whole scene of him like leaning over, like the giant figure as a giant figure. Oh, and it's very sexual and uncomfortable.
Thank you
and
for that, Shredney.
No, I mean it seriously, but
I know, but also you didn't have to phrase it that way, and it just sounds very silly out of context as well.
I mean, it's really upsetting in context.
Yes.
Just so you know, it's that like the weird hallucinatory thing of that, and it's like, and the whole thing of like basic. You're kind of like watching somebody, like as it was said, it's like by some other folks over on TNT, was that like, so, like the last 2 episodes are very much a therapy session, right? But, see, I don't so much see End of Evangelion as a panic attack so much as kind of a reckoning with the messy side of dealing with mental illness and
I didn't think about that as I was actually watching it, but somebody, I think it was actually Cammy, brought it up, which was like, the end of the main series is like, okay, you can move on from this, but it's going to be hard. And Eva, the end of Eva, is like exactly this hard.
Yeah, and it's like it's showing which you basically is the aftermath of what happens. How
interesting.
It's like basically it's the acknowledgement that you like of how what you've done because you're in that state. Like some of it is your fault, a lot of it isn't really, but it's like still you've hurt people and you need to take responsibility for that and reckon with those parts of yourself that are ugly to become a better person. And then in the last scene, in a way, I think like Asuka's final line when he stops is like, in a way, there's a sort of weird empathy to it. Is like that she like it is. She is like, you are pathetic and disgusting, but I recognize you as another human being.
Yeah,
I recognize that you can change.
Shredney, are you gonna let me talk at some point?
Sorry, no.
It's okay. But like, yeah, I don't know. I have what I think is like the second most popular opinion on the original franchise, I think, which is that like I really, really like the TV show, and I like the movie, but I more respect it than like it, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Because like
no,
I sort of feel like the film is made for a kind of person who is not me.
Yeah.
Whereas the TV show, I was much more on the same wavelength as, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's like the TV show. I feel like where it ultimately goes. I think that in a way, the consolation of the last 2 episodes really, and like that catharsis is really necessary and works really well for a certain kind of person. And then the whole...
I do have Abel, it's a 1-run.
What did you say?
I'm talking to Mur, don't worry.
But then, like, the film's ending is like, it speaks to a person with slightly different issues.
Yeah,
and it's
like
that shit speaks to me really hard.
I have been in like bad spots in my life. I have not been in the specific kind of bad spot that I think like EOE is about.
Yeah, I think it speaks to, like, a particular kind of, like, here's the thing, and, to get, like, and I brought it up before, and it's, very personal, is I have OCD.
I'm not gonna watch fucking Twin Peaks, Murray. Go on.
But I have OCD, and I get intrusive thoughts that make me feel like an utterly horrible person. That is my problem. It is really awful. And the thing is, it's kind of like that sort of understanding of both reckoning with how your mental illness can make you behave in ways that are bad, but also kind of like dealing with that your thoughts are not you, and that there is a line there.
Yeah.
Is like something that I think, End of Evangelion, it speaks to that in a way that's weirdly, it's like, it seems really, really dark and bitter, but it's bittersweet to me.
Yeah, no, I didn't think, like...
I think it's like a positive ending that just happens to be in a really dark context.
I don't really know how I would describe it. I've tried a couple times already, and I don't think I've really done the character justice.
What I think, yeah.
Ergo Proxy, I will probably watch at some point.
What I think made people really mad about End of Evangelion, at least partly, is because it just makes, and also really mad about the end of the series, is it takes it from, it just makes it takes the metaphor from being under the story to being the priority of what's
the series, and I just mean like the whole thing, about like halfway through does sort of like a subtext text switch.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that people don't like. Hello, Mom. Post Malone sells Doritos now.
Now here's the thing. I actually love subtext to text switches in stories. Like, I live for that shit.
I am neutral on like the concept in a vacuum. I think the way you does it is very good.
It's all in the execution.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I recently watched another show, which will go unnamed, that did not do that as well. But that's a topic for another time.
You could name it.
You guys ever seen The Perfect Insider?
No, I don't believe so.
This is a series.
You seem to be frustrated with the ending.
I just like, Perfect Insider is like also like a locked room murder mystery, and I don't think those two things go together very well.
I think they can, but you have to be very adept at how you.
Which the guy that directed Perfect Insider is not. So
like
there's some great bits in that show. I don't think the story on the whole works that well.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's I don't regret watching it or anything. I regret watching very few anime that I watch. A couple of them. But
Magical Spec Ops Asuka?
No, I think that was a great learning experience for like where the floor is. As far as like modern anime that actually make it to TV.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, there's shit that people like. I fucking feel bad for the This Week in Anime guys sometimes, because they end up getting forced to watch all this like Netflix garbage that nobody has ever seen, and apparently that is well with no bottom.
I mean, there's also all those like.
Does that happen in Mulholland Drive?
What is about the time
foregrounding the subtext is presumably what that's about.
Foregrounding the subtext. Oh yeah, Mulholland Drive really does that.
Well, actually, like foregrounding the subtext exchanging the narrative with the subtext.
Oh no, it kind of does that. Yeah, like I mean, Mulholland Drive is like. How do I explain Mulholland Drive? Oh. Yeah,
you guys can
Lost
talk about
Highways.
Lynch a little bit if you want. I am not really familiar with his work.
I haven't finished Lost Highway, but I have read a fair bit about it, and
it's about the O.J. Simpson trial.
Like, here's the well, I mean, it was, I think, actually partly inspired by it, but it is actually. Apparently, Lost Highway makes way more sense if you're familiar with the fact that David Lynch is devout Buddhist. Or not Buddhist. Hindu, actually.
Is he?
Yes. Yeah, after he got into transcendental meditation, he converted to Hinduism.
Huh.
And he's actually, and a lot of his work heavily features Hindu ideas about things like karma.
Interesting. But
it's an idiosyncratic form of it because he's David Lynch, but it's like it does permeate a lot of his work, and things like reincarnation symbolism is actually really heavy his most abstract.
What if David Lynch dropped a rap track called "Bitch, I'm David Lynch"?
What? Called what?
What?
What did you say? What if David Lynch dropped a rap track called what?
Bitch, I'm David Lynch.
Bitch, I'm David Lynch.
Think about it.
Honestly, I think like that David Lynch is too nice to like be like, bitch, I'm David Lynch.
Too nice to swear? Possibly.
Not too nice to swear, but too nice to swear at someone else in an insulting way. Like, he's the kind of guy who's like, when he like stubs his toe, is like, oh god damn it. You know what I mean? Like when you
stub your toe and it hurts, friends are here to help you.
And he's like, yeah, he's apparently like a very nice guy. Little weird, and apparently not someone you want to be married to. Like, he's much better to be a friend with than actually, like, in a long-term relationship with.
How did we get on this subject? I feel like I lost the plot somewhere.
Fair enough.
No, it's not.
I'm about Mulholland Drive and Lost
literally
Highway.
Okay. I was just, like, literally confused. That wasn't, like...
But yeah, like, a lot of Lynch's work can kind of be viewed in an almost, like, as weird as this sounds, a Hindu existentialist perspective.
Like all the great filmmakers. That's an opinion someone in, like, India has, probably.
I mean, I have no doubt. Like, there were the sort of religious tradition in India which created Buddhism was only one of, like, a bunch. There was actually a guy who legitimately was, like, Reddit nihilism incarnate.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that man on our show.
I just find it fascinating there was a guy who literally believed that their good and bad things are the same thing. It doesn't fucking matter.
The wise man bowed his head and spoke.
Yeah. Apparently he, like, walked into a river.
Cool.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Alright, so
on a lighter topic, let's talk about Evangelion.
I was literally gonna be like, compared to this, I feel like we're talking about fucking Precure. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't even know what to say about it. It's a very good series that people should watch.
Kaji is officially worst boy.
I fucking hate that character. Like, not even for a good reason, I just don't like him.
He's a douchebag.
Like, if he was a real person, I would want to punch him. Like,
I mean, yeah, he's legitimately a nasty, manipulative asshole.
Which is, like, the point of the character. Like, you're not supposed to like him,
Yeah,
but, like,
I know, but
so from
they
that
do it so well.
From that point of view, like, a good character, but also fucking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's not like in the kind of category of just like pure like just hate sponge in the way that I'm currently watching Hannibal, and Mason Verger would be a good example of that.
Or like Gendo. I mean, I don't think
Gendo is a fucking horrible guy,
way,
but at least, actually, with Gendo is fucked up.
I mean, yeah.
Like, Kaji doesn't even have that excuse.
Kaji's just kind of a jerk. I mean,
Kaji's just a dick.
I'm sure there's something out there that's like some random tidbit of official, or like at least semi-official evil lore about fucking
what his
Kaji's
deal is.
shit, but also who cares?
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Like the thing with Gendo is like Gendo, like part of the reason why Shinji is so broken is because of Gendo being horrible, but it's also because Gendo himself is a deeply broken person.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the show could have gone into that like a little bit more.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't really go as deep into it because, like, it's almost like in a way. I mean, and I kind of get it is like because they didn't want to forgive his shittiness.
Yeah, it's also because he never got into Warhammer 40k. I knew that was going to come up eventually.
Oh, let's not talk about that. I've never watched that. Read that, and I'm dimly aware of it.
I've never read it either, but, like, it's just kind of funny that it exists.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, I have a little more, like, in terms of, like, weird...
TV tropes web fiction classic.
In terms of, like things that TV tropes, talked about in terms of Ava fanfiction, I at least get the appeal of something like Nobody Dies. Because I get it.
I forgot that existed, and I'm gonna destroy you now, because you made me remember it.
But whereas, like, that's more benign.
The only reason I will watch Ava is to write an intolerable essay on how it's exactly like The Sopranos. Please do.
Bitch, don't.
No, please do. Like, I like the series kind of a lot. Not as much as some others that I've seen, but I really like it. But everybody I knew who was like a huge snob about it when I was 15, A, is a piece of shit, and B, like, didn't even really seem to understand the show very well now that I've seen it.
Yeah.
So
there are a lot of people with bad Ava takes. I mean, it's just like, that's actually, when Eloise finished Evangelion, it was like, this is an amazing show. I'm never going to talk about it with anybody because I have no interest in their shitty takes.
I mean, I think after I get over this initial period, because I still have to watch the rebuilds, but, like, after I kind of get over this initial period, that's also going to be me, because, like, I don't...
Yeah, because, like, I mean, it's like...
It's a show that spawns arguments, and arguments can be taxing.
But, what was I going to say? But there's also another thing, like, with that whole thing with, the parent-child kind of thing, is, like, I think that's another thing that, really sort of stuck with me, is the way that... that's kind of a subtext in Ava to some degree, is the way that stuff in the way that you relate to your family can kind of hang over into how you relate.
To what? Treading?
What? Yes.
You just your mic died for a second or something. I don't know.
Huh.
How you relate to what is the other
how
thing?
you relate to your family can kind of affect how you relate to other people.
Yes.
As particularly if like sort of in a way that heritable qualities of mental illness, not necessarily genetically hereditary, but heritable. You know what I mean? Like that it, in a way, gets passed down in one way or another.
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
And I don't know. I related to that. Is what I'm saying.
I feel
my family have depression problems.
Yeah, for as much as I liked the show, I feel like I should have related to it more almost, because I also really have quite a complicated relationship with my parents. But I don't know. I feel like the place that Ava is writing from is like pretty specific.
Yeah.
So I mean that's one thing you could, I guess, call a flaw if you wanted to be like a real something or other about it, you know?
Just nitpicky as hell, essentially.
Yeah, and there's a couple other things. Actually, fuck all the, deep and meaningful Ava talk for a second. Uh-huh. I want a show where Asuka just gets to fight things in peace.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Also, I'm gonna need to rewatch it just to kind of realizing later to pick up on some of the weird shit with Rei.
Rei is a very strange character. I like Rei, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I am kind of don't really know what to make of that. You know?
Yeah, it's she's...
Evangelion is about Hiheo Mizaki is unpleasable. Wow, I butchered that man's name.
Hayao.
Yes.
But, well, I mean, he and
fair,
Hideaki Anno are a really good friend. Which is interesting.
I've heard... I don't know very much about, the history there, but I have heard that they had a period of, not being copacetic, but I don't really know if that's
I don't know.
True, or if it's, relevant to Ava at all.
I mean, I do know that, they were, back in the 80s were pretty close, and they're pretty friendly now.
Yeah.
And that's mostly what I know. And, even though they do share, well, they kind of, I think part of it is that for a while they held different views on anime fandom, and then,
Well, no. I mean, I think,
and that,
in the 90s, they, didn't get along for, more serious reasons. But
I mean, that's
sure.
fair. But I mean, it is worth noting that it is kind of funny is some of the views that Hideaki Anno later expressed about anime fandom are very much the way that, sort of how Miyazaki felt being disillusioned through the 80s about anime.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anime was a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, that is taken way out of context. And it's
that's not... No, that's not taken out of context. He just straight up didn't say that.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the thing
that quote is a fabrication.
Even then, the quote that they're misquoting was in turn taken out of context.
Yeah, I mean,
he's talking about something really. It's sort of like that he's expressed frustration with the way that television animation kind of made an emphasis on the sort of thing which he's a real perfectionist about, creating these basically moving art pieces sort of like got like it didn't fit with his aesthetic, as it were, and that he felt it frustrating that it might have impeded the development of Japanese animation as
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's entitled to
And-
his opinion.
and also he was really frustrated with how Ano has talked about this, is like where you would get Japanese animators who have been influenced by watching anime but don't seem to like read books or watch film.
I know all this. I largely, you know, I think people here have mostly seen that Todd in the Shadows episode where he talks about fucking Arrested Development, and then like just like, yeah, that's very interesting. Also, like, eat my ass. I don't I just don't think that that's it's a very like I don't even know how to describe it. I just don't think that that's an opinion worth engaging with. You can have it certainly, but
I mean, I get where he's from. It's just that it's a very specific,
yeah,
and like it's mainly applicable to people. Although I do think that he has a point about like if you're going into animation, you should draw on other art forms.
There's nobody who doesn't do that though.
Like I mean, like
that's, like
well,
I,
it was like he does. It does feel like he's sort of creating a straw man.
yeah, like
But I don't think it's entirely intentional. And I see kind of where he's going.
Unless I don't know. I don't have anything interesting or important to say about that opinion. So whatever. I don't like having that conversation with people because by and large, I died. Like by and large, I think people who are like will try to argue that he's got something of a point don't really understand the super specific context he's coming at it from, and like
yeah,
I also don't think that even if you do consider that context, I don't really think that it's true. Like
I mean that's fair.
Like I
love
plenty of Ghibli movies, but the guys
and it's just like, but
like,
I mean I get why someone with his set of aesthetics and his background as an animator would feel that.
Yeah, I get it. I just also think that it's fucking dumb. Like that's not to put too fine a point on it, but
yeah, and also so far as I'm aware, he has softened over time.
I mean that's the other thing is like people always like I don't know the guy or anything, but he strikes me as somebody who can get very worked up about specific issues, but doesn't actually like feel that way like all the time. Yeah. Yeah,
like the thing was that a lot of the stuff that he said that's the most critical is from like the 70s and 80s when that made even more sense.
Like he wasn't even talking about like the only thing that happened semi-recently that was even like applicable to what is currently going on in the medium right now is he like got mad about live 2D, I think. Which
he also before incorporating it into Princess Mononoke, he was frustrated with like
came out so long ago though. Do you know what I mean?
There was actually a different thing, which was like people took out of context him talking about 3D animation, and it was like creating something that people created this sort of image that was like this using 3D to make something look unnatural and monstrous, and it was like he felt personally uncomfortable with it. And he explained to these guys I have a friend who is very severely physically disabled and has specific movement difficulties, and it feels exploitative to draw on those kind of things to make something seem quote unquote monstrous.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing.
Out.
That's the thing that always bothers me about this is like, it's all shit that he said about something very specific, like 30 years ago.
And it's also like as much of an asshole as he can be, as that thing demonstrates, he's not without empathy.
No, I don't think he's a bad person at all.
Quite the opposite.
It's just like
it's like very personal stuff for
people.
And that's the thing. It's about personal context.
Yeah, people always want these, like,
narratives,
beglassed auteur types to be anti whatever's going on in the industry.
Which that's not what.
Sometimes they are, but like not.
Also, the ones who are most like that are like what's his face, Yamakan, who's a total asshole.
Yeah, the guy
and nobody likes him.
The fucker that was like banned from Twitter because he was on the Kiyoani arson. That guy.
Yeah, he's a shitty human being.
Yeah. He released a movie recently. Apparently it wasn't very good.
Yeah, the thing is that Yamakan... The irony is, his best work is when his talents, which he's not untalented, are channeled with other people, like, are collaborative.
Yeah,
like, the first couple episodes of Lucky Star.
Yeah, he was...
Or the Hare Hare Yukai dance. Yeah. It's like... But... he pisses everyone off so much because he can't shut his fucking mouth that nobody wants to work with him.
Yeah. Anyway, this got, like, very broad. What's your favorite of the Ava units? I'm still pronouncing it wrong.
Oh, I like them. Oh, okay, here's an incidental thing. With the mass production Ava units,
that doesn't count!
No, I'm not saying...
Pick one of the main ones.
No, okay, in terms of the main... No, I am going to talk about the main... Okay, main one is Asuka's.
Okay, me too.
But I was going to say about the mass production Ava units, you know what it says for their pilot?
What? What do you mean?
That it actually shows the tank where, a person would be, LCL tanks, if you look closely. You know who it is?
D's.
It's clones of Kaoru.
Huh. That... Can I be honest with you? That seems like it has no significance whatsoever.
No, I just find
yeah, no, I like it is interesting. I'm just like, what could that possibly mean? I don't think it means anything.
I mean, I think it's indicative of, as I said, there's that, like, sort of not deleted scene, but it showed up in depth in the director's cuts, which is about, like, the weird relationship Kaoru seems to have with Seele. Or Zila is actually how you're supposed to pronounce it. It's German for soul.
Oh, Trey is fond of the black one.
Ah. Which one is that again?
Unit 3. The one that, what's his fuck pilots for like 10 minutes.
Toji?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Toji.
Or no, it's not Toji, it's the other kid.
Toji, oh, yeah.
Toji's the one with the glasses, I think.
Oh, sorry, I got their names mixed up, which is unfortunate.
I might have them mixed up, actually. I don't know. They're not really...
No, it is Toji.
Yeah.
The other one is, Kenji? Keiji.
Maybe?
Yeah, and but yeah, Toji, who... Oh, poor Toji.
Please.
AKA the most normal character in the show, who doesn't have massive problems.
What about
then he does.
What about the technician lady who just kind of hangs out being gay?
Just like the one background technician lady, yeah. Oh, there's her. Also, actually, there are a couple of the technicians, the ones who aren't Ritsuko, who, is very much in the know about a lot of shit, are generally fairly well adjusted.
Yeah.
like, and then like, and then like that. Yeah, it's like it's funny when there are like like there are characters who are just like in Ava who are just like normal fucking people, and they always meet the most horrifying ends of anybody in the show.
Just like real life really makes you think.
Ooh, do some thought.
Giving a big rumination on it.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that Evangelion. I still don't know how the fuck you say it. I think that Ava's a good series.
Yeah, like
I could list shows that I like better than Ava, but there would really not be any point to that.
I'm gonna guess Symphogear.
Actually, yeah, like I don't. This is kind of an artificial distinction, admittedly. I don't really think that Symphogear's like better than Ava because I don't. It's like not really, but like good night, Mer.
Good night, Mer.
Eureka 7. I've actually heard that before, Trey.
Yeah,
I've never. I want to watch Eureka 7.
It just feels better.
You know, yeah, like
there are shows which I definitely prefer to Ava, but I have a ton of respect.
Yeah, I guess that's like. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Ava isn't one that I'm like finding myself like distinctly chomping at the bit to revisit so much as like just, I'm glad that I did watch it, even if it was as a 13, 14-year-old and didn't understand shit. But yeah, like for me, like as far as pure personal preference and like emotional significance to me as a person, not necessarily in general, I think that I would put Eureka 7 over it.
Yeah, I've actually heard that opinion before, so I don't think that's even like to put it in the dumbest terms possible. Like it's a hot take, but it's not nuclear,
right?
You know? Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff as far as like personal significance that I would put over Eva the big. We're gonna start fucking calling it New Century Gospel, which is what its title means, which doesn't fucking mean anything. But whatever.
I mean, it kinda does. It's just that it's sort of oblique.
But like, yeah. Even in that same vein, I think I like Lane like a lot more. But also I saw Lane first, so like.
What about really in terms of shows? I know you have strong feelings about Kaiba.
That's tough. Like, Kaiba and Ava are kind of the same for me in that I did like watching them, and I really respect what they're doing. I don't know if I'll ever like be super in a hurry to revisit them. They're actually surprisingly similar shows. Not that I think about it.
Kaiba is also like kind of a feelings gut punch.
Yeah, I think
watch that one.
Having seen a few shows each from them, I think I can say I like Yuasa a little bit better as a director than Ano. Not that they're super comparable, but just like
they're very different directors. But I get where you're coming from, and I think I agree.
That said, I think that Gunbuster like fucking rules. I like that show a lot.
Like the thing is, I think Ano is a very talented director in a very different way from how you.
Yeah, Ano's I don't know. I might feel differently after I watch the rebuilds, because I know that, like, the real hot take about Ava is people who think that the rebuilds are better. And there are people who think that. There's not many, but they're out there.
The funny thing is that there was a time when Maddie wasn't even a particularly powerful hot take. There were a shocking number of people who were like, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, the public opinion seems to have really soured on the rebuild movies. I'm not sure why, but I guess I might find out after I've seen them. I don't really know I will say that, like, the little bit I saw of the first one, it is just, like, the first 2 episodes of the show, but not quite as well animated, so that's not really...
That's unfortunate.
A great introduction, but I think that once it starts diverging more, I will maybe develop different opinions.
Also the guy who's, like, the main director on the Rebuild films is the guy who directed Fully Cool.
Yeah, like... Wait, is it?
Yeah.
What's that guy's name again? I've forgotten.
It's that guy. Oh god, I can't remember his name.
Like, I know who he is, but name is not in my noggin at the moment.
I'm gonna look this up.
Tsurumaki.
Yeah, I was about to say Tsurumaki is his last
name. There we
go. Alright.
That's
interesting. I thought Ano also directed
Kazuya Tsurumaki.
Or did he just, like,
Ano
supervise
is involved heavily in.
Okay, so he's just not. Okay, yeah, all right. It's one of those things where, like, the director isn't totally the person running the show.
Oh yeah, he's Hideaki Anno. He's been writing the Rebuild.
Okay.
Whereas Kazuya Tsurumaki and a guy named Masayuki directed the first 2, and then Tsurumaki and holy shit, Mahiro Maeda directed the third one. Co-directed. I fucking love Mahiro Maeda.
What did Maeda do? The name is not ringing a bell.
He has done Blue Submarine No. 6 and Gankutsuo, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Several things that I've never seen. Fair enough.
He also allegedly worked on Mad Max Fury Road on concept art.
Oh yeah. Oh, and on top of that, he did the animation for the Animatrix short, The Second Renaissance.
Oh. Okay.
The really trippy, visually intense one.
God,
that one,
among others. Yeah.
So that one actually came up in conversation for me a couple of days ago because I was showing a friend of mine that a stream by a drum and bass producer that we both really like called Spore, and he used footage from, like, the Second Renaissance and a couple of different anime projects. I think there was one sequence where he was just straight up using Gundam footage, like from Unicorn, I think it was. Yeah, so Second Renaissance. That one is one of the pretty solid ones out of the Animatrix collection. Honestly, all of it is pretty great. I think I also really liked the ones that Shinichiro Watanabe had two that were included in that, and I think that he was, like, also in charge of, like, the overseeing the whole thing, like, coordination wise. And then there was one other one. I can never remember who made it, but Beyond is one of them that is, like, from the perspective of regular people rather than being about, like, the whole, like, big machines versus humanity situation that they have going on. Yeah. And I really love that because it's
the director of Beyond was, I know the director. Oh, it's Koji Morimoto.
Trying to think if I can remember if he did anything else.
Koji Morimoto, let me look.
Familiar with
Koji Morimoto has done, because he's Koji Morimoto is responsible for he was one of the main animators in Akira. He did shorts in Robot Carnival, the Animatrix, obviously, key animator on Kiki's Delivery Service and City Hunter. He's a co-founder of 4 Degrees Celsius.
That's quite the pedigree.
Yeah, he directed the short Noiseman Sound Insect, whose animation director was Masaaki Yuasa before he was famous.
Noiseman Sound Insect. What a title.
Yeah. He also directed Mind Game, or was involved in heavily in Mind Game, which is directed by Yuasa. Sorry.
Gotcha.
And Oh yeah, and in the short that he also did the short Memories, Magnetic Rose, which was the big breakout for Satoshi Kon. The man has been.
Can I share with you guys a stupid and really unique to me problem?
What?
I always want to pronounce Satoshi Kon's last name is like Kern, because that's how it would be pronounced if it was like Pennsylvania Dutch German. I don't know why I am always inclined to do that, because like it's Japanese. It's not even like close. But
I mean, that sound also, funnily enough, exists in Korean.
So
OE when you see it in Korean words is
That's what the fuck? That's the same thing that it is in.
I think I got my first taste of seeing anything Satoshi Kon related a couple of weeks ago because I was watching Adult Swim and Toonami was on and they picked up Paranoia Agent for reruns on there.
They did do that. I forgot about that.
Because I think that Funimation worked on like the getting the rights to it after God knows how long, like 16 years, I guess. And that one ended up being my first taste of that, and it was a weird one.
I have not seen a ton of Kon's work. I do really enjoy Perfect Blue, though.
Kind of intriguing. Yeah. I've never seen Perfect Blue. I've heard about it.
I have seen Paprika, which I saw when I was really young and was like, holy shit. And I have seen Paranoia Agent twice, and that show is really good. I've also seen his final short, which is only like a minute long and nearly made me cry. One other thing. Another thing that Koji Morimoto is known for are the concert scenes in Macross Plus, which was one of the first things ever directed or co-directed by Shinichiro Watanabe and written by Keiko Nobumoto, the team that later went on to make Cowboy Bebop.
That's a weird connection.
Well, there you go.
Hey, actually, my like only anime hot take I have that I think is genuinely controversial is that I don't like Cowboy Bebop all that much.
I mean, kinda same. I mean,
like I think it's good. I just don't think it's like.
It's grown on me since watching if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like it's like, just that
I'm
not neutral. I respect the hell out of it, but I'm not sure I actually like it as much as honestly as much as Wolf's Rain or Space Dandy.
Yeah, I was gonna be like kind of enjoyed Space Dandy a little bit more.
Yeah, Space
not
Dandy,
like significantly more, and I think that again, this is like a silly distinction, I guess, but I think that Cowboy Bebop is like better in like a nebulous, artistic merit sense. I don't really know. Yeah, that too. I don't really know if people are still going to be talking about Space Dandy in like 10 years.
I think that there will be animation nerds will talk about Space Dandy in 10 years.
Oh,
because it's a showcase. Because it's a showcase of like literally any, and it includes like animators who haven't even like done that much stuff alone, but are like serious, like ultra well respected, like if you're really in the know, these people, or like Eun-Young Choi, who's like Masaaki Yuasa's like head woman, his like first lieutenant.
Yeah.
Directed an episode. And like fucking Hiroshi Hamasaki, the guy behind like Technolize and Shigarui, directed an episode, which is insane.
I think that's fair, but also I don't know how representative like Sakuga heads are of the general anime watching populace.
I mean, they're not.
You know what I mean?
I mean, hey guys,
not,
what?
You know what else animation nerds are going to be talking about in 10 years?
What?
The fact that 12 Ounce Mouse is coming back for a third season in a couple weeks.
What? I forgot about that.
Holy shit. shit!
What the fuck is up with that?
I'm so excited.
Like, I'm happy for fans of the series, but I'm just kind of like, huh.
I don't understand why they're doing it, but I'm happy. I'm happy.
If that theory about 12-ounce mouse being like a mean-spirited parody of the Big O is true, it has now outlasted the thing that's a parody of.
Oh, man. Oh, incidentally, here's another thing. The main director of Macross Plus, Shoji Kawamori, you have almost certainly heard of him, even if you didn't know what he's been involved with. He was, he early on helped create a bunch of things, including Macross. But he also created and did direction and script supervision for things like Earth Maiden Arjuna, Vision of Escaflowne. He directed the film Spring and Chaos.
Sredney, it's the Vision of Escaflowne?
The Vision of Escaflowne.
Or I think it's actually Escaflowne.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I'm hedging my bets on that. He also was the main mechanical designer on Eureka 7. And on Pat Labor. And what else?
So that one I know because I've been corrected on it a billion times is actually Pat Labor.
Pat Labor. Okay.
I don't know why you're supposed to pronounce it as though it's a Spanish word when it's not, but you know.
Oh god, what else? He's done little things for a zillion things. Oh yeah, and he did some storyboarding on Razafon and Noe because of course
I think that anime is cool.
Yeah, anime is cool.
You know. I really liked Ava, again, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
But like it has put me in the mood to watch something like not as taxing. Especially because I promised an acquaintance I would watch Yushi Yuna as a Hero soon. And that's another thing that's like...
Oh, no, don't watch that after Ava.
Yeah, that's another thing that's like pretty...
Like, here's the thing. No matter my personal biases, you know, in terms of like having been exposed to like the plot of that and being like, I don't like this. And that is probably unfair to the show. My thought is, this is not light viewing.
No,
That's
it's
all
not.
I'm gonna say.
So I don't know. I need to find like some stupid comedy series to watch before then.
Hey, you know what? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Are there any stupid comedy series on our what is it called? Our project list?
Yeah, and yet the town moves.
You've already seen that.
I know.
Shit.
So, did I mention that I started watching Nichijou?
Oh, that's a great show.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I started watching Nichijou.
Yeah, you didn't mention that. I find Nichijou hard to watch in like large doses because it's so fast paced.
I fucking love that show.
But it is in smaller doses, and that's also kind of true of Azumanga Daioh. Although Azumanga Daioh is more relaxed.
Azumanga Daioh is a lot more sedate, yeah.
It's like, and it's also true of Excel Saga, which is even more hype.
I don't know, I think that show and Nichijou are on about the same level.
Yeah, they're about the same level, but like Excel Saga is more abrasive.
Let's talk about Nichijou. I like Nichijou.
It's delightful.
I'm only a couple of episodes in, but it's so charming.
It is. It's like made of charm. And, like, there's the snotty kid on a goat. And also the whole thing with, like, and stuff about drawing yaoi manga, and God is dead.
My favorite bit in that whole show
involving, oh god, what's the name of the girl? Nano, the robot girl?
Yeah.
She is so precious and good, and I want to protect her.
My favorite bit in the whole show does not even involve any of the main characters. It's the fucking thing, and Trey, I'm sorry for spoiling a gag for you, but nobody else seems to find this as funny as I do, so I don't think I'll be ruining anything. They've, like, finished final exams, and the classroom, like, bursts into, like, a ridiculous level of celebration. And the two random background characters are just like, we're getting married!
Oh my god. See, that's perfect. So like I'm pretty sure that's gonna be funny even regardless.
Yeah, it's...
yeah, and also because, honestly, I think that is, like, a genuine jab at how shitty final exams in Japan are.
Yeah.
Like, because everything I have read about the Japanese school system suggests, like, yeah, basically.
Oh, like, wait, Shredney, I know what we could watch for our...
Yes.
I actually have a couple suggestions. I'll DM you about this later.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
I'm very interested, because...
I have a couple ideas.
You know, I do still want to fucking finish Speedgrapher. But I understand that may not be something you want to watch after 8.
I mean, Speedgrapher's so fucking stupid that it kind of might as well be a comedy, but...
Fair. You know. Yeah, I mean, it is... I find Speedgrapher incredibly entertaining. It's just that it's so much.
It's kind of an exhausting watch, yes.
Yeah, exactly! No! It's, like, so fucking demented that you can't, like... You just can't. I just can't.
You can't.
Yeah. You know?
It's a lot.
It's quite a bit.
It's really a lot.
But, yeah. Anyway, I like the Red Ava unit the best.
The Red what?
The Red Ava unit.
Oh yeah, Red Ava unit is A+, and also it's Asuka's mom.
Yeah, that's... I still don't, like on a symbolic level, I completely understand it. On a literal level, still don't really understand what's going on there. Kind of not worried about it, though.
I'm...
Just roll with it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There's some weird shit going on there.
The weird, like, giant creature in the basement, like, can suck people's souls up and put them back. I don't really...
Yeah.
I don't really quite get it. I feel like lore was like a tertiary concern at best.
Well, lore, it's not that it was a tertiary concern, it's more like the lore is always operating metaphorically, whereas the rest of the show gets metaphor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Like, and like, I do like your sort of take on it is like that, with respect to, the, what is it called? Like, how they use Christian and, Jewish mystical symbology in it is, you know, like, that while it's not meant in the same way, like, you know, it's like, it's not a deep commentary on Christianity, it is interesting in itself.
Yeah, it has, like, an internal logic to it. It's just, like...
Real fun and sexy of Anno to just be like, hey, I'm just gonna use this icon.
Gonna take all this, yeah.
It's part of it, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just there.
I mean, it means something, just doesn't mean the same thing.
It doesn't mean what you think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and like there is stuff where it's like, I mean, with the names and stuff is like clearly a specific set of symbolic references. But it, like, they did read this stuff, but it wasn't like, oh, it's about Christianity. No, it's using that iconography for... Yeah. To, like... Partly because it's cool. But, you know.
I really kept making that Gansfeld Bethany joke, even though nobody got it.
What is it a reference to?
An album called That, which has a bunch of crosses on the cover. That's as deep as the reference goes.
Oh. I'm gonna look it up.
It's a good album. I like it a lot.
I think I've heard of it.
Probably from me, because I'm like the only person I know that ever talks about it.
Like, I think I've heard about it, even before I knew you. But
it's not that old. It's not that old, so...
Well, not that old. But like, before we were, like, hanging out on a consistent basis is, I guess, what I mean.
Perhaps? Oh, hey, I have Mega Satan's head as my starting item.
Mega Satan.
Yeah, look, it's Isaac. I don't know what to say.
It's Isaac, let's just roll it.
Speaking of Christian symbolism, it doesn't fucking mean anything. This game is a barrel of nothing. I love it, but also it's a barrel of nothing.
I was just thinking about how it manages to get so much out of what is essentially just the basic core gameplay of these disgusting things are trying to kill you.
Yeah. You know.
And you have, like, I'm a fire my laser, except
yeah.
the devil.
Yeah, that's the gimmick of this starting item, is, well, this active item, is that it does that, and then eventually it runs out.
But you're Satan when you do it.
I'm not taking it, though, because I actually don't think that item's particularly fun most of the time.
Press X to win.
Kind of, yeah. You know, I'd rather have my,
have a little challenge. As a treat.
My crystal ball, which is also a very good item.
Again, a little challenge as a treat.
It's little a challenge, thank you very much.
Little a challenge.
But yeah. I don't know. Another thing, like, just speaking personally, because I spent so many years being like, I'm not going to watch Ava because I don't think I would like it that much. And then having watched it and liking it a lot, I'm just like, well, maybe I should just, like, listen to people from now on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sometimes. To be fair, the kind of people that are real active about Ava and loving it can kind of be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know.
So I don't even blame you for a second for waiting so long to do it.
It's kind of a sued magnet.
I kind of remember. I remember, like, with me that happened with Halo, where the type of people that liked it were not the type of people that I thought I wanted to associate myself with.
Yeah, there's many properties out there that that kind of thing happens with.
You know, it's funny that the original use of sort of like derisive use of the term casual in video gaming referred to annoying younger people who play Halo.
Yeah, I remember that era.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Hey,
like,
hey, you want to hear a cursed sentence?
What?
Well, you see, it's a deconstruction of anime.
What does that even mean?
My whole body cringe. I'm shrinking into a fetal position.
There she
goes.
Like,
that's why my voice is slightly obscured, is because it's into my...
There she goes.
Man.
It's the bravest ferret I've ever known.
The whole TV tropes ass attitude of having things be better because they try to, like, break
I'm sorry, Lee.
They try to break specific, like, tropes or whatever by quote-unquote deconstructing them.
I hate...
Or subverting.
Like, the worst part is, having now seen the show, that is nowhere in its list of priorities. Like, you cannot... You'd have to be... Like, you can't make that reading of the... It doesn't make sense. Like you can't read the show that way.
In the original in the sense of like, it has elements of commentary on the appeal of giant robot fish. But that's not like the primary.
To a very limited point, but that's like even that's like way down the list. Hello, like Ice Waters 3974. What is your important question?
It's like there's stuff going on that's like, broadly speaking, you could argue is quasi deconstructive, and I was just reminded actually of how Derrida actually talked about the term deconstruction.
Yeah, but like even
it probably isn't arguably like now that I look at it, it's like not
politics allowed. So like,
yes.
I mean, yes, sure, but this isn't really like a political show, so like.
I mean, it comes up.
It comes up sometimes, but like we don't this isn't like Chapel Crab House or anything.
Like honestly, as long as you're not a tanky.
Yeah, I mean, just like don't be a jerk. It's whatever. But yeah, like Neon Genesis Evangenesis. I don't know. It's not the priority. Like having now seen the show, I'm like that's a ridiculous thing to take away from it.
But it's so subversive. It does things that other anime don't.
That part's not even true. I'm so fucking tired. I've been tired since 2010. How are you two doing?
Okay.
Fine.
I'm honestly, like, just glad to be doing this because it's, like, maybe the one semblance of normalcy.
Yeah, I feel that, like, moving is a weird process.
It's so, like, we have so much stuff. You know, you accrue things when you have 5 people in a house.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're living in that same house for, like, gosh, the better part of 2 decades. So, yeah, there's a lot.
I mean, question to new person: what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I also don't really know what that was in reference to. I just figured they would either explain themselves or not. So I didn't bother asking.
Fair enough.
But
Catacombs 1.
Catacombs 1. But like
oh god, what have I been to recently? Like honestly, not a ton. Again, I was just like, watching Hannibal. That doesn't seem like a thing that either of you would be interested in.
Not, to be honest with you, not really. Like, I don't watch live action TV, really.
I'm vaguely... the TV show, right?
Yes, the TV show.
So, I know it's Mads Mikkelsen, and yes. I know that people, like, were really obsessed with it on Tumblr back in, like, 2014, 2015-ish. When it was on TV, but beyond that, I'm not terribly familiar too much with what it's got going on.
It's hallucinatory.
I click on the stream by accident once, and Post Malone tries to sell me Doritos again.
Oh no!
He just really wants you to try their new, I guess, spicy lime ones or whatever the hell they are.
But also, I'm gonna say I love the show, but because it is literally gaslighting the show, it's hard to recommend without a warning.
That's fair.
Here's a question, not about Hannibal. I'm sorry. About Doritos.
Okay.
What is with the weird insistence that lime is a flavor that corn chips should have? I don't...
I kind of get it in the sense that, like, with a lot of spicy things, a little bit of lime has, like, a nice...
Like a tiny bit.
I do like the lime-flavored chips that Chipotle has.
Well, Trey, unfortunately, you will now be destroyed.
But it's also
I must
lime
perish for my sins.
Lime is a common ingredient in a lot of what is it called? Not salsa, but like various actual, like
guacamole.
Like various dips. Yeah, I think guacamole contains. Pico de Gallo contains.
Don't ever call me a Pico de Gallo ever again. Effective advertising? I guess so, because here we are talking about it.
But Pico de Gallo contains lime. Like a lot of traditional like Mexican and Central American.
It sounds like someone wants to sell me something.
Who doesn't these days?
I think it's partly like that the tang goes well along with the spice.
I'm sorry, we could bring this conversation full circle. Do you guys know that there's product placement in the Rebuild movies? Because there is.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's like in what is otherwise like a pretty faithful like shot-for-shot recreation of that sequence. That
is it Pizza Hut?
So Pizza Hut is in there, yeah.
Oh my god.
They really hitched their train to the giant robot wagon in like the late 2000s. I don't know why.
That's fascinating.
So can I tell you something? I actually really like Code Geass. I think it's a terrible show, but I really like it.
So I brought it up on a conversation on ISO today where I haven't seen Code Geass and I don't really know a lot about it besides the fact that Lelouch is the main guy and he's like a badass like something or other. But
yeah, that's
but
he's emo teen, manipulator, super genius.
Yeah, like just he's capable of everything. He's the head bitch essentially. But like basically, I brought it up because the guys that worked on the theme song for it also did the first theme song from Eureka 7. And I consider that to be one of my favorite theme songs of any anime. Okay. So it just came up in conversation.
Lark and Teal or one of the other themes? Because there were Code Geass had a couple different openings.
I think it was the one that Flo did.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, because I think that the two of them, the songs that Eureka 7 has and Code Geass has, they're similar, but they're different. Mm-hmm. One of them...
That's just reminding me of the 4 original openings to Full Metal.
Yeah. Fuck, I really need to watch Code Geass again. That show is so bad, but it's so good.
Okay, so... Wait a second.
Like,
I've noticed that, like, anybody who ever talks about the original Full Metal Alchemist anymore, it's always like, but Brotherhood is better. And it's like...
I mean, I've never seen Brotherhood.
So, Brotherhood is a better watch if you watch the original anime, because
if you watch the original.
Yeah, they skip over a lot of the stuff that Brotherhood covers already. Well, not Brotherhood, the original show. So the original show goes into further detail with a lot of the early storylines.
And it fleshes out a lot of, like, the big problem is, like, it fleshes out a lot of the characters in the first half that, like, like, literally the first, I think, like, 7 episodes or something of Brotherhood cover like 35 episodes.
Yeah.
So and like, which takes away, like, there's a reason why the whole thing with Night of the Chimera's Cry is so infamous, is because it has time to build up to being an emotional wrecking.
Yeah,
like you know these characters.
Is that the one about the dog?
Yes,
it's
that one.
Okay,
It's
just
that one.
checking.
It's the one you're thinking of, and that one in the original, it's really effective because you know those characters, and God, does it suck.
I mean, they still do a pretty good job of condensing it, but it like having the context filled out all the way the original show does make it like a significantly harder gut punch than it is in the second anime, because you know they
and also because
they're glossing over the stuff that we already have a familiarity with if you're watching the original show prior. But for people that only watch Brotherhood and don't go back to the 2003 show, they don't get as much of that. They still get the story. It's still really good, but in general, there's just not as much of a full understanding of, you know, what these characters have going on and everything, the way that you would get if you were to actually watch both.
Yeah. And also I understand that, like, to most people's sort of feelings and understanding, it's like the first half of the original is a stronger thing, but it's where the Brotherhood succeeds is when it actually gets into original material. And it really shines. Although, honestly, I still really, like, you know, not having had the context, I actually, you know, watched, back when I watched, you know, the 2003 series, I liked the anime original stuff, mostly. There were one or two things where I can understand why people, but it's like the main antagonist who's in the original is still a really effective and unsettling antagonist.
Right.
Like,
they did
they're the worst fucking person.
They did collaborate with Arakawa to create their whole thing, so it isn't like one of those types of situations where it's like they just came up with their own shit and worked from there.
No, she actually really liked what they came up
with. What's doing nowadays?
What is Arakawa is
wasn't she working on that on one that was like about farming?
Yeah, she was writing Silver Spoon, which is about learning, becoming a, you know, like, studying agriculture, and, you know, like, this kid from the city becomes
I thought that ended like 10 years ago, though.
Yeah, but that ended, and now I can't remember what she's doing now, but I do think she has a new series. New in a relative sense, like the last couple years.
Can you look
the
it up?
The manga was running from 2011 to 2019, so she was still working on it.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah. It got an anime too in 2013.
It did.
22 episodes.
I never hear anybody talk about Silver Spoon.
The people who actually watched Silver Spoon have generally said it's good. So it's just that it like the original manga, it's a thing, like, it's not something that premise-wise is going to grab most people, but...
Well, it's about farming, so yeah, I kind of get that.
But it's like, if you like a good slice of life...
Oh, God.
Like, if you like a good slice-of-life comedy with educational and occasionally dramatic elements that's not, like, overplayed in its drama, then you will like Silver Spoon, probably. It's very relaxed in its pace. And it's about farming.
It's like about as far as you could get from the type of thing that Full Metal was doing, but
especially
at the same time, it makes a lot of sense that she would choose to do something less, you know, all the way out there.
Yeah,
you know,
and also her sense of humor in Full Metal Alchemist carries through in Silver Spoon.
Yeah.
I wonder if now that she's done with Silver Spoon, she'll make other, like, action series or something.
Who knows? I mean,
Although, like, the past couple years have not been great for, like, mangaka well known for action manga following up on their stuff. Like the fucking Naruto guy tried to make a new thing and nobody.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's the Naruto guy. And,
yeah, the Naruto guy's not a bad writer though. It's like
no, but it's like, but Naruto, from what I understand, kind of went down.
Really? I mean, I've heard that about Bleach.
Well, no, Bleach really went downhill. That's different.
Which, by the way, fucking Burn the Witch is getting an anime. How'd that happen?
What's Burn the Witch?
Tide Kubo's new thing.
Oh. Oh, it's
I read well like it was originally a one shot and now it's getting serialized, and I think the anime is a film adapting the one shot. So I don't know what's going on there.
It's actually apparently Tite Kubo.
Is it?
Which is why he spells it that way, but it's actually his name is Taiko.
Oh, huh.
So he stylizes that way for the hell of it.
But yeah, that's Kubo's new thing.
Yeah,
Kishimoto's manga was only up and running for a year.
Yeah, that's like sad, especially because friend of the channel Zersk, I know really liked that manga. But like nobody would give it a chance, so it just
let's see. Like, actually, here's the thing. With having watched Full Metal Alchemist, I think that it actually shares a lot of, like, the original anime, and I think the manga, and the latter bits of Brotherhood, definitely, in a way, like, shares some of the appeal of Hunter x Hunter, although Hunter x Hunter goes in some ways. Like, and has a different sense of humor. And it, but both of them get, dark.
Yeah. Far
like,
deeper in thematic territory than one would expect, given the types of shows that they're marketed alongside.
Yeah, like, the thing is that, like, a lot of shonen series will have content that is, like, it is dark conceptually and can go into that sort of territory, but, like, thematically, FMA and Hunter go way further. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not simply stuff that happens is grim. It's the implications of the stuff that happens makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about
really well done.
The only shonen manga that matters, Food Wars?
What is it called?
Food Wars.
Oh no!
I don't know anything. About that manga.
So from what I understand, it's like for people who are into that sort of thing. For people who are into that sort of thing.
So okay,
it started out really strong and has gone really far downhill.
So okay, that's actually like not totally my understanding. So my understanding is that Food Wars starts as a cooking manga. At some point along the way, becomes about like how fascism happens.
What?
Yeah, like it gets.
Okay, that's interesting. But,
and I think the consensus is that then it goes downhill. I don't.
So it tries to do something that is interesting, but doesn't do it bad.
Well, no, I think it does that for a while, and then other things happen, and then it starts being bad.
Oh, so it potentially does an interesting thing well, and then.
Like I think, like in terms of the anime, like I think people like the first like 2 seasons.
Yeah, I generally heard positive things about the first 3 seasons.
Well, no, I think the third one is the one where it starts getting bad.
Starts getting bad. But that's what I'm saying is that the third one at least
maybe
starts.
We should talk about a show that we've actually seen.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying from what I had heard.
Yeah, I just realized. I just had this moment. I just had this moment of
First 2 is consensus. 3 is.
Yeah, I just had this moment of oh god, this is the least interesting thing to listen to of all time.
Yeah, it's mostly secondhand discussion.
Yeah.
I quickly have to use the restroom, but when I get back, we'll talk about something more.
Hey, Trey.
Yeah.
Less cursed.
I don't understand it because he's the type of person that will like introduce me to shit like Hunter x Hunter and like will watch stuff that's like actually really good, like FMA and Soul Eater and such. And then I catch him watching like that.
I mean, maybe he just likes the fighty bits.
No. He's said as much that the harem shit is he lives for it. It's something he enjoys.
Well, you know,
I can't fault him for that, but I will judge him for
it. Yeah, okay, that's fair. God, every time I hear about High School of the Dead, though, I think about how fucking depressingly that series ended. It didn't end. The author died, and they just canceled the rest of the books.
Huh.
Which,
well,
yeah, like
that's shitty. Actually,
yeah. I had a friend in high school who was really into High School of the Dead. Actually, how did he even find out about that show? Nobody fucking talks about High School of the Dead anymore.
Is like the type of person that will like actively seek them out. So like that one and Arifureta or whatever the hell it was, or High School DxD, all the.
Well, our Arifureta came out like 2 seasons ago, and High School DxD people actually like not unironically, but people actually enjoy that show. To some extent, I think. I don't really know very much about High School.
I feel like I could vibe with it if it didn't have the, but because it has the, it is.
I mean,
it is a distinctly uncomfortable watching experience.
I can watch stuff like that if it's not mostly about the dude, but it usually is. So,
it's always about the dude.
Fucking Senran Kagura, which is not a good show, but is a funny show, even though it's not really trying to be.
Yeah.
That show I got some enjoyment out of. This the main evil ninja lady's power is that she has 8 swords.
Huh. Nice.
It's so great. Just fucking like Dr. McNinja bullshit.
But yeah, like he's the type of person that will just watch whatever like strikes his fancy on like Netflix, Hulu, etc., regardless of whether or not the thing is actually like recommended by anybody. So like,
well,
as much as you'll find him watching the popular shit, so too will you find him finding some random thing that nobody's seen and being like, okay, I vibe with this. Which is fair, because I do the exact same thing with video games. So.
I mean, it's fair. I'm just imagining Bailey watching, like, fucking Hero Mask or something. Just one of those, like, shitty Netflix original anime that nobody watches.
Well, I mean, he introduced me to Dorohedoro, so like.
Oh, Dorohedoro's like great.
It's really good.
Yeah,
and like, that one I 100% credit him for, because I probably wouldn't have checked it out otherwise.
Yeah, Dorohedoro is a slap.
Yeah.
Bailey.
Who are we talking about?
Bailey, whatever.
Trey's brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Bailey. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dorohedoro. I've been hearing for years the manga.
The anime is a good introduction to the manga.
Oh yeah, and I've heard good things about the anime, and what little snippets I've seen when people discuss it on YouTube and stuff. It's like, yeah, like admittedly it's not like Beastars, Land of the Lustrous levels CG, but it's still good.
I really like the CG actually.
Yeah, I vibe with it because it does a lot with the lower frame rate. Like, it doesn't necessarily feel out of place at all.
Yeah, whereas something like Expelled from Paradise just...
God, I fucking hate that movie. Don't bring that movie up around me. I will go off or I will...
No, I mean, the reason why
rant
is because I
for
know
forever.
You fucking hate it.
Yeah,
It's like...
Do not like that film.
Uchi just goes off the rails. He does it in style.
Have you guys ever considered that technology bad?
Technology bad? Really?
Technology bad.
Black Mirror would have never told me this.
Lady in Leotard. Good?
Leotard.
That's it. That's the whole show. Movie.
Beautiful.
It's like an hour and a half long. I fucking hate that film.
Honestly, though, I have like
fucking...
So Black Mirror is good, and I do enjoy it, but I would never want to watch it in 2020, given the circumstances, and the creator himself is aware of this, which is why we haven't gotten any word of season 6. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense that, you know, the whole, hey, this dour take on technology in our modern world and such, yeah, kind of not it right now.
Yeah.
Not the vibe.
This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it.
I know this is like a gross oversimplification, but the idea of Black Mirror like getting postponed for being too real is very funny.
Yeah.
But like,
so I feel like maybe they should have done that with The Last of Us, but that there ain't no way in hell Sony's waiting on that payday.
I haven't played Last of Us 2, so I'm not gonna discuss it.
That's all I will say.
Yeah,
mostly what I've heard with The Last of Us 2.
No, Shredney, that was me saying I don't want to talk about
Okay,
it.
fair.
Like, not that one.
Not it. Not the vibe.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
But, like, yeah.
Also, I think the random person huffed off because we might allow left-wing politics, which, I mean, well, good then.
I don't know. Like,
or because I said tank.
Yeah, that was my thought. It was like maybe they were like a Leninist or something, and they were upset that you said that. In which case, you know.
I mean,
sorry.
Also good.
Like,
good.
I don't even like. I'm not even like a super hardline ANCOM or anything. Which is like, if you're gonna like, what a weird fucking question to open with. Also.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like, this is Twitch. What are you talking about?
A, it's Twitch. B, we're streaming the Binding of Isaac.
Like, how did they find this stream? Like, I don't even.
I mean, I put it in my chat on ISO because, of course, but
as
like,
probably not somebody from your server, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I would guess that they would probably be able to read the room if that were the case.
Yeah.
Oh, the last tanky that left your server. Oh, her.
Let's not talk about that, please.
Let's not. God.
What was there a thing that I'm not aware of?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll remain in blissful ignorance.
I got her banned from another server, and she sent an angry DM at Trey. That was totally insane.
Alright, well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Trey, I've been in literally that exact position, so, you know, I know how it goes.
That was a bad person. That's all I'm gonna say. Not a good person.
Yeah, I feel you, Trey. That, you know, sometimes people are...
I'm really like sorry, Trey. I'm sorry that happened, and that I didn't warn you about that. Feel a little guilty about that.
There's nothing anybody could have done about it. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's
talk.
Isaac, huh?
Yeah, Isaac. We're actually
okay.
Like, ostensibly, we're almost done with the Isaac portion of the show, but like, I don't know. I kind of just want to keep playing Isaac, to be honest.
I mean, it is a fun game to like.
Not like my GeoGuessr subscription's running out anytime soon, so.
Yeah, the endless GeoGuessr subscription.
I'm so afraid that what's gonna happen is like in 11 months it's gonna tick over to renew, and I'm gonna not have enough money in my PayPal to do it, and I'm gonna overdraw my PayPal.
Oh gosh!
Because of a fucking GeoGuessr sub.
I don't think so.
I would hope not, but will the Shaft-themed DLC be titled The Binding of Isaac Hayes? Wum, this isn't a good joke.
Yeah, damn right.
No, I love this joke. It's terrible and I love it.
You know. Oh.
On God. Worm?
On God.
On God?
Oh, on God.
You guys ever think about the seminal short anime Kamode House? Are you making something in the microwave?
I just finished microwaving.
What did you microwave?
A stir-fried rice thing that I made last night.
Beautiful.
With veggie meat.
Food adventures with Shredney on stream.
I don't know why I thought this. I was dead fucking sure that it was hot chocolate, and I was gonna be like, there's no way that you're drinking hot chocolate in fucking July.
Well.
I
made hot chocolate for myself 2 nights ago in the coffee maker.
Ray!
My dude.
Why?
I vibe with that. Also, I
to measure my abilities.
It's hot.
You know what I just poured myself out? A mug of hot coffee.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
People drink hot coffee year round, okay? Hot chocolate isn't that weird.
I mean, I get your concerns.
Look. I don't think I'm an extremist as far as beverage temperature. I don't think that beverages should ever be hot.
Wow, that's the coldest take of the century.
Fuck you.
Literally coldest take of the century.
I think that drinks should be cool and refreshing.
I agree that drinks should largely be cool and refreshing, but I also think they can be warming and, like, not in the sexy sense, a sensuous in the sense.
Just, like, make some spaghetti or something.
So you're not a believer in hot Dr. Pepper with lemon?
Oh God, don't even get started on
Let's not even get into
I don't know, like, I've seen that picture before of the old book with they were really on some other shit in the 20s.
They also had like fucking celery flavored Jello to make aspic with.
Look, God, during my brief time in the She-Ra fandom, there was this weird in-joke of pretending that the characters were all aspic addicts, and I don't...
Why?
I have no fucking idea. Like, it was the most... Like, it's easy to call something random, but it was just the most singularly random in-joke I think I've ever encountered in a fandom.
You gotta have at least a little bit of respect for hot Dr. Pepper.
Okay,
it tastes
so
just
now,
like Dr. Pepper, only it's hot, kind of like tea. Brings out the cherry flavor, a little carbonation, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I saw that video.
It's gonna destroy you, Trey.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say also is, so hey, Jane, now that you've seen Ava, I think you'll be able to appreciate the famous PSA better.
Oh God, I could watch. I watched a couple scenes back in the dub just to hear Tiffany Grant's surprisingly good German.
Oh yeah, she's a good Asuka.
The bit where she's talking to her mom on the phone and in the dub she just loudly goes, "Ah, Muti!" was like... genuinely really funny to me, and I don't know why. It's like, yup, that is how teenage German girls sound answering the phone. You nailed it.
It's just like, yeah, and also, oh man, that PSA is real weird.
I haven't seen it, and I don't know if I want to.
Well,
I
you
didn't
don't see it, you hear it.
Heard it, you know what I mean. But like, I just don't understand, Shredney.
It wasn't actually. It was just the same actors.
I know,
but putting on similar voices.
But also
it puts that image in your head, and it's like, oh
no. Cursed.
And also, unfortunately, the tone of voice totally makes you think of those two characters in addition to the actual voicing.
That's so bad.
It's so uncomfortable.
It's
but
the
I find
worst
it really
thing
funny.
ever. I hate it.
I love it.
It's not on my good list. It's not in my good book, Shredney.
As the good book says, it ain't there.
Oh no.
As the good book says.
Look, I mean,
I love how that phrasing makes it seem as if the Bible is the only good book.
Yeah, the good book.
Like, have you ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? And you're trying to tell me that the Bible is the good book?
Yeah, really.
Oh my god, that's the stupidest thing I'm ever gonna say. Oh my god.
As the good book says, always bring a towel.
No. What?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The actual Hitchhiker's Guide advises that you bring a towel with you. You'll never know when you need it.
That's like actual good advice.
Sage life advice from the.
That's just true.
From the device that predicted the rise of the iPhone, and also Douglas Adams, who came up with the phrase dongle.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Like. Douglas Adams was in many ways very ahead of his time.
Want to hear a weird regionalism?
What?
Sometimes USB dongles get called info plugs in the part of the country I'm from.
Wow, I hate that.
Oh no.
I don't know like where the boundary is drawn, where that stops being a word people say.
Info plug?
Yeah. Because the info goes up. I don't know.
I'm gonna plug this into my computer, get that information.
Look, I didn't come up with it. What do you want from me?
Oh
Flash
no.
drive. Flash drive, okay. Jump drive, fine.
Info plug.
Does that mean if you're a programmer and also a boomer and also a furry, that makes you an info plugger?
I'm gonna kill you.
Bad.
Get out.
Oh my
also,
god.
no, it's like even worse than that, because it's not a term used for like flash drives. It's a term for like just the ones that are like on a wire.
Yeah, I understand.
Like the end that goes into your computer is called an info plug. I don't know why.
Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah. Brick.
Things I did not need to learn today for $500, Alex. What is an info plug?
My name's not Alex. Don't even.
My name is what? My name is info.
What?
You think Sephiroth ever has to get his hair out of his eyes?
I mean, I do, and I have much shorter hair than Sephiroth, so... Yeah, probably.
I asked because the character model puts your little dongles directly in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Little hair dongles.
Little hair dongles.
You've got nails in your eyes.
Yep.
I guess you could say that makes your head kind of like a hole.
I believe this item is actually called the 9-inch
No,
nails.
I saw what they're called, 8-inch nails.
Okay. I haven't actually read the pickup text for this thing in forever, so... Oh god, it's Ragman? Come on!
You're gonna get what you deserve.
Hey Trey, can I get a parody of any song with man in the title about Ragman instead?
Spoon Man.
Together with your hands, save me. I'm together with your plans, save me.
Yeah. Or...
Thank you.
Wait, but what about anything by the artist Rag and Bone Man?
Look, you guys are, like... You guys are overthinking this, I feel like. Anyway, that actually worked out, which is a little bit surprising.
Ragman, fighter of the toilet paper man? Fuck, I don't know.
Ragman, whoa, fighter of the mop man, oh.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Ragman, take me by the hand. It doesn't have the same number of syllables. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Ragman. You have to, yeah. You just have to sort of sing it a little like
You have to hold
Marky
on the A
Smith
a little
from
bit.
The Fall. Ragman. Ragamuffin.
Ragamuffin.
Doesn't that mean like a tough dude in patois?
Yeah, like it's been used for a couple of different purposes. Like a ragamuffin could be like a kid on the street, or like just a little like scoundrel type person.
Yeah. It's also a breed of cat derived from ragdoll cats.
Okay. I mean, yes, that's true too, but it's not what I was asking about. I was just thinking because I know there's a Cuddy Rank song where he calls himself a ragamuffin.
Yeah.
People might have used it as a term of pride. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
like
battle named by Cuddy Ranks.
Like how Rude Boy is something that was originally an insult that became just something that people went by.
I think
like particularly
Yachty.
Yeah, Rude Boys were guys in like street gangs.
Yeah.
And they dressed well and were generally obnoxious.
And then
that's why they were called Rude Boys.
Reggae to ska thing became a thing, and somehow the phrasing, the terminology transferred along with it.
Yeah. It's like but yeah, like there was the whole thing of like Rude Boys of of Jamaican and other sort of like Caribbean descent in England. It was
the song I'm thinking of is actually Murder, She Wrote by Shaka Demus and Pliers, so I have no idea what I was on about a minute ago. It's a good song.
Got me thinking about Cuddy Ranks, though.
Cuddy Ranks has some hits.
Yeah.
I'm not like a huge reggaeton listener, or is that even what genre that is?
Well,
I'm
dance hall.
Not into casino, but dance hall generally, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fraud. No.
One bit plumful against wall. We six them both with them call me. I'm the girl, them sugar, that's all. Welcome, making of the dance hall.
Yeah.
Dance
hall was what I was thinking of. Yeah. I'm not like a huge dance hall listener, but I like a couple songs in the genre. This old fucking
Jamaican heritage for you.
I do really appreciate how Yellow Man was one of the first dance hall guys to explicitly come out against the serious homophobia in the genre.
Yeah, Yellow Man seems like a cool dude.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's like as common anymore. I'm not admittedly like a huge. I'm not really tuned into the scene, so I don't really know.
But there were a few major people who said some really vile shit, and he was like, not like anybody who comes to my concerts and things, you know, like they're here for the music. I respect them. They're good people. Love who you love. And it was like, you know, he's very chill. I like him.
Yeah, Yellow Man seems like a really cool guy. He's like, I've seen a few interviews with him. He's also very funny. Like, one interviewer asks him, he's like, is it true that you're like the most popular dancehall musician in Jamaica ever? And he says yes, and also on the moon.
And also on the moon.
You know.
It's just, yeah, and I mean, I remember a long time ago you posted a song which he did, which was just called Sex Pon de Truck.
That song is fucking great.
It's just like...
So, am I the biggest fan of Tiny and Big on Earth? Yes.
And also, on the moon.
And on the moon. Yeah. Valid. Yeah, like, you are one of the only people I've heard talk about that.
It's a good videogame.
Yeah. Like, I think I have heard, like, one or two other people be like, yeah, it's good. It's just, like, I almost know.
Fuck, now I'm thinking about Sex Pon the Truck again. That song is so fucking good. Like, it's legitimately...
My work is done!
It's legitimately a good song, but also it's called Sex Pon the Truck, and it's about fucking in a truck. Like, there's nothing else to it.
Well, I rode in a Ford F-150 for the first time, I want to say maybe last night, and to be honest, yeah, it's roomy enough that you could do that. The combination of trucks and getting freaky is kind of a good one, let's be real.
I mean, oh my god.
Neil C.C. Reagan knows this.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, wait, context?
2 trucks.
Wait, I don't think I've heard that one.
You know God. 2 trucks. Come on.
No, seriously.
You know, you do. You do.
I do?
Think about it. It's the song about 2 trucks having sex.
I don't know that one.
Shredney, what the fuck?
Yaren had, like, the title as, like, his signature on Keeper's Hangout, I'm pretty sure.
For, like, a year or something, yeah.
For a good long time, yeah.
Like, I'm not mad at you or anything. I just don't understand how you acquire knowledge. Because you know these, you know, very specific things. Just like that fucking clip from Dan versus the World. Where he's like, hey Dan, who built the Washington, or not Washington Monument, Mount Rushmore. And he's like, and his son finished it. And then they ask him what state it's in, and he goes, how should I know?
I don't know, Canada?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah. You know, sometimes when we
Dan Versus
and the honesty is too much.
Dan Versus was a masterpiece.
That show existed.
Dear Diary, today I died.
Yeah, that's a weird first thing to happen during a run. Just kind of eating it, apparently, right now. Just over and over. Wow, that was a really good reroll with the D8. I am not going to use this item again, because I think I'm good.
Do the best you can with what you got.
Yeah.
Trust can. Best you can. That is a good song.
What?
Optimistic by Radiohead.
Where did that come up?
It was, if you try the best you can, you try the best you can, the best you can is good. Is the chorus of that.
What if...
I have a Radiohead.
Huh.
It's, but yeah, it's actually on, of all albums, Kid A, which generally is a lot more, readable and weird, but then it's like, I mean, it's still got the whole, like, fan-inspired going on. But it's, like, way more, not exactly conventional, but, you know, it's like a song you could picture on at least a later, more straightforward.
I get it, Trey. Radiohead.
But it's, and it's a...
I am a rapping robot. My head's a stereo. Thank you. That was Rapping Robot, which is a weird, like, throwback freestyle song that somebody made a few years ago.
Not to be confused with Radiohead
Heads,
which was the inspiration for...
I'm not a rapping robot, but I do make electronic music.
Yeah.
Or, Preamp by the Microphones, which is a very early song. I am a preamp.
Fredney, you're like breaking up pretty bad. Fredney?
Fortunate, yeah.
Can you say, like, fast and bulbous?
Fast and bulbous!
There we go.
Okay, fast and bulbous.
There. Yeah, you're good now. I don't know why it was...
Okay, I was just
find yourself inside the head of a radio. I hope not. That's scary.
But yeah, I was just singing Preamp by Microphones, which is about being a preamp.
What? It like literally about being a preamp?
Well, yes, but also it's a metaphor, and also...
Well, then it's not literal!
Well, it begins with the lines, I am a preamp, plug all your cords into my head.
Yeah?
And then also he says, I've got microphone fingers. So, like, he is a preamp. But it could be a metaphor.
You know what else is a metaphor?
What? Evangelion?
These. I mean, that also, yes.
Oh, incidental note. Comme ce sautade. Thoughts.
What?
Comme ce sautade. Song.
Yeah?
Thoughts?
So, like... I actually quite like the song itself. The feeling I had... Because, like, okay, I've occasionally seen, like, images or, like, little clips from End of Eva that are, like, were, like, out of context.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I expected to be soundtracking that scene. It was not that. This, like, weird, twinkly little...
It
like,
sounds
indie rock song, basically.
Yeah, it almost sounds like, honestly, it sounds almost like something you'd expect at the end of a Sunday school special. A little.
I don't know if I'd go that far. But, like,
better than that. But,
like,
you know...
Well, no. I didn't think you meant it qualitatively. But, like, it's just, like, this weird little folk pop song.
Yeah,
almost.
It's very, it's kind of Dylan-ish.
A little. But then, like, the specific delivery of the vocals gives it a very specific character.
Yeah. And then it ends with those giant balls of strings.
Yeah.
Cascading.
It's,
which has a very different vibe.
It's an interesting piece of music, isn't it?
It's a really good song, and also, I do just, like, I just keep letting me down, which is just so fucking depressing.
Something I discovered about that song was that if you go to any YouTube upload of it, people will be talking about whatever depressing world event has most recently happened in the comment section.
Oh yeah.
Because
inevitably, because
just how human beings are, I suppose.
Yeah, they just. Well, I understand like going to that song just in a bad place and feeling like the world is ending. It's like, mood. Yeah, mood.
Yeah, you know.
That's a mood.
It's a very sad song.
Yeah, and I mean, and if you look at the lyrics which Hideaki Anno gave to the translator, that the poem that he wrote that it's based on, the direct translation of what he wrote is even darker. Like, he did not write that in a good sense.
I mean,
is all I can say.
Yeah, you know.
Like, it's a, like, the original poem is, and the lyrics are not cheery at all in the English version, but, like, the original Japanese poem it's based on is just like, ugh.
Hey, so, like, who else didn't learn until they were an adult that there's, like, many kinds of Japanese poetry? Not just, like, fucking haiku?
Well, no, I mean, I learned that in, like, school.
Like, I knew in theory, but not in practice.
Like, I mean, I had no reason to assume that haiku was the only one, but, like...
It's the
only one that, like, I was ever taught about.
Yeah,
in school.
Like, I don't know, it's more accessible than Tanka or
I guess.
Haibun, rather.
I mean, I don't really understand how Tanka poems work, to be honest. But like,
Tanka poems work in the same sort of structure as haiku, in that it is 5 beats, 7 beats, 5 beats, but it's long.
Shredney?
Yes?
You vanished again.
What I said was...
Works in the same structure, but it's what?
But it's longer. It's 5 beats, 7 beats, 5 beats, 7 beats, and so on.
I see.
Ending on a 5. And whereas Haibun is a prose poem that is with like poetic cadences, but it's like a vignette or a very short story or just a prose image of a thing, with a haiku at the end kind of either summarizing or making a final point about it. I've written Haibun as part of the course that
Well, you know what I think about that, Shredney?
What?
That's pretty cool. I couldn't think of a pun on Haibun. Yeah. I think I might have.
You could say no. I've got one. It's pretty flyable, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's even worse. Well done.
I know.
It's fucking horrible. Congratulations. Hey, actually, here's something we could talk about. Speaking of congratulations, do you know how fucking floored I was to find out that the TV show has like a pretty happy ending?
Which ends with the congratulations scene, yeah.
I had no idea. Like, the way everybody talks about this fucking show, and I mean, I'd argue that even EOE is, you know, not happy, but like, in a very strange way, positive.
Yeah, exactly, I agree.
But like, the way everybody talks about this show is like, oh, it's gonna totally ruin you. And it's like, it's just sad art. Like, I mean, it's very good. I don't mean to denigrate it. It's just like, I don't know. People are odd.
It's like, I think it is especially M is challenging. Like you said, that it is challenging.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's like lightless. Like in terms of things with like genuinely, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Actually, I think that technology, and this is an unpopular opinion, while very, very dark, has a silver lining to it. There are very few things I've seen that are totally...
Yeah, I mean, like... Just, like, total emotional nihilism is not an interesting place to write from, is kind of the thing.
I mean, like
you do that and you get, like, South Park.
I don't know, like, I mean, like, well, in terms of, like, ending on a completely note, like, the one thing I can think of in anime is Midori Shoujo Tsubaki ends on a complete down.
I'm sure that there's some things
but
that
it's
do it
like,
well.
But Midori Shoujo Tsubaki is, like, it's basically a cry of anguish in film form, so, like, yeah...
Also, like, apparently, this is the other show that people always used to sell this way. Nobody fucking talks about this show anymore, which I think means it's probably not that good. Is, fucking She the Ultimate Weapon.
Oh, Saikano?
Yeah.
I mean, Saikano, I occasionally hear people talk about it, and they're like, oh, I like it.
That's one of those ones, we've talked about this category before, but, like, people used to be like, you have to watch this, or your opinion doesn't count.
Anybody, I don't think anybody, like more modern, you know.
I don't think anybody's like that about it, not anymore, no.
No, like, and also most of the people who I've talked about are, like, you know, anime critics and things who say, yeah, actually, it's really, really good. It's not a fun time, and, like, but they don't talk about it like it's, you know, mandatory.
That's the thing, that's the difference, yeah. Like,
it's a really good show that'll fuck you up.
But
you don't have to watch.
I've talked before about this category of, like, I don't know, like, a core of, like, shows on there used to, like, insist were required viewing to be a
Which is funny because they did that with, like you said, with Read or Die.
That show is, like, I liked Read or Die, but it's, like, fine. It's not...
Yeah.
Like, the idea that Read or Die is, like, an important piece of media is so weird.
It's I mean, I guess, understanding odd score.
God. I guess. I would honestly recommend Witchblade for that. Witchblade's a lot more, like, what the fuck is going on? Witchblade's also, like, better.
Witchblade is more divisive.
Yeah, but that's because people are not strong enough mentally to handle sad story, but also lady have huge bazongas and same gender.
Yeah, exactly. It's a sad story about being a mom, but also big tip.
It's not a perfect series. I would not deign to say that.
Oh, just the phrasing. Oh my god.
I mean, fucking...
You see, the big tits represent motherhood.
I'm gonna kill you in real life, Shredney.
I mean, okay, alright. We'll take that.
And her murder sword hands represent protection.
That second one's, like, kind of true, but
but you see, it's deep.
It's
deep.
It's not, but you know.
I know, but I like saying this because it's funny.
I remember when everyone was hyped about Read or Die, and I have to wonder how much of that was because they thought the protagonist was cute. I mean, you know, what's her name?
I mean,
Yoko Reedman. I think it's the protagonist. Name.
Yoko Reedman or Yoko Redman. But yeah, she is cute. But it was, I guess, part of it was because this was in the period when Moe had not been fully internalized.
I guess.
And people were, and it was what is it called? How do I put it? Plausible deniability that you are watching something because of it.
I guess. Maybe. I don't
because
like
Go-Go.
Then
you can say, oh, I'm watching it for the show.
Yeah.
Whereas you're actually watching it because cute girl be cute.
Like, Go-Go is, like, from the friend of the channel. It's from like the anime fan generation before me, and she has many stories about like having to hide that she liked Hidamari Sketch and things like that because
Jesus
people would
Christ,
get
Hidamari Sketch is like
people would get like I think it was Hidamari Sketch. People would get like really judgmental about shit like that.
I don't actually know how Gogo is.
I don't either, actually, but I know that she's been watching anime for longer than I have.
A long time.
Yeah.
I do know that.
That's all I meant. Like, I don't actually know how old she is.
Oh no, it's like, but I do get what you mean. It's sort of like, I hang out with a lot of people, in terms of like my friend circle, like anime fans outside of TMP and our greater friend circle, like older anime fans. And yeah, the whole thing about like how people got about like way stuff. Oh man. People got weird.
And then Moe won, so
Moe won, and it made a better world for us all.
I still occasionally see people who are like way out in the weeds politically posting shit like links to aesthetics of helplessness and shit like that, and being like, this is why the modern anime industry is fucked. I'm like, okay. Cool.
Like, look, here's the thing. Moe can be presented in a way which is infantile, and that can be kind of misogynist. But that's not definitive of the style that it's
in. I mean, like,
like, that's what I have to say. Is, like, no, it can be, but it's not inherently that.
Yeah.
And people need to stop making...
I don't think most people even sort of think that way anymore. But there's...
I mean, yeah. And even the people who used to have changed their mind.
You occasionally see outliers.
Like, I mean, even people who used to kind of hold that line, like Jacob Chapman, who's younger, have changed their mind.
I'm not even talking about anyone notable. I just like people I see on like Twitter and shit sometimes.
Oh no, I'm it's just point. Yeah, and it's like they're like a really eccentric, hardcore anime stuff types who you would think would be like, even they're like, not actually it. It's like, it's just a quality that exists within a work rather than an indicator of quality. How?
You know what else is a quality that exists within the work?
What? Big anime girl eyes?
Yeah.
Nuts!
Like in Moe. Nuts? Well, I mean, I'm sure that there is, like, a,
Okay.
I wasn't saying something sexual, I was subverting it. I was saying, I am sure that there is, like, somewhere out there a manga series that's about, like, not just about camping, but, like, surviving in the woods and, like, finding nuts and berries and things that involves cucumbers.
Yeah, Yuru Camp. I've not actually seen that show.
Yeah, but does it involve, like... Well, okay, yeah, Yuru Camp.
I've seen some.
Encouragement of Climb might...
Why is that show called that, by the way? I've thought about...
Because it's a bad translation.
Like, I think about this
translation. It's about...
every time.
Hey, Jane.
Because it doesn't translate well...
Jane, I got one word.
What?
Waikiki.
Is Ass by Big Sean the only song? Yes.
It might not be the only song. It's the only necessary.
It certainly is a song.
Oh yeah, 100%. It is a song.
It's a song.
Now make that motherfucker hammer time.
Go stupid.
I loved how, like, that point where, like, the beat changes to that weird, like, almost psychedelic kind of sounding.
I don't know what anyone involved with that song was thinking, but I'm glad that it exists.
Yeah, it's like, it's like...
Big Sean is Big Sean is such a normal rapper that he's kind of weird, like he kind of goes around and becomes weird again.
Yeah, he's
the whole dude. Like the weird fucking like ass riff from the verse in that song, where he's like,
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the guy who gave out, like, on one of his songs, he gave out his phone number?
That was Mike Jones.
Who?
God damn it, Trey.
No, I think at one point. No, actually, I think Big Sean also.
If he did, I don't remember it.
Yeah, but it was like a whole thing. And, like, yeah, you know, and it was like, and he was actually, like, initially, like, really touched by how many of his fans, like, sent him messages talking about, you know, his stuff, and he'd just have conversations with them. But then when it started to get, like, his phone bill got so extreme, and there were so many people calling, just nuts, he had to change it. Like, I felt a little disappointed.
I don't think that was Big Sean.
I think that, no, like, I recall an interview.
But Big Sean
it was early in his career.
Big Sean is just...
Yeah.
He's got some good songs, too. Like, I think pretty much everybody agrees that I Don't Fuck With You is a good song.
Yeah.
But also, just, like... He just says things sometimes.
He's also, like, a dad joke master.
That's what I meant, yeah. Just, like... Make your girl do tricks with her pussy. Now she's a magician. Like...
It's like, yeah.
Just the most belabored pun on earth. And it's like... Yeah, you know. He's like a, like, shitty version of Fabulous or something. It's kind of great.
Yeah, it's just, but yeah,
in terms of song, Fabulous is a terrible.
I'll have to confirm what I was saying, but it's like, I think it was Big Sean talking about. It's been a while, but yeah, it was like, it was just, yeah, it was like a thing. I can't remember. But this was like
281-330-8004.
Wait, what?
Hit Mike Jones up on the low because Mike Jones about to blow.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, like
who?
Well, yeah,
Mike Jones.
I do like.
You guys ever think about how Mike Jones was on Faces by Mac Miller?
Huh.
I forget which song he's on. He's on there somewhere.
I wasn't terribly familiar with Mac's work, so I didn't know that.
Faces is a very good record. I think the rest of his music is kind of like, if you like really like Faces, you'll probably get something out of it. I like a lot of his stuff, but he's kind of an acquired taste.
Oh yeah, on Dark Sky Paradise on the outro, Big Sean left his phone.
Huh. Well, that was like fairly recent. Interesting.
He probably changed it.
Yeah. But, well, yeah, Shredney was talking about how he had to. But, like, yeah, Mac Miller is a good and, was, rest in peace, a good and interesting rapper. I think the reason he's kind of, like, an acquired
my phone
taste.
died.
Oh.
Well, my connection died. Well, what I was saying was, it was, like, I looked it up and it was like, yeah, it was right. It was, at the end of Dark Sky Paradise on the outro, he left his phone number. Back in 2015, and it was a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, like and yeah,
I have listened to that album and I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like at the very end, and it was like, yeah, and he ultimately did have to change his phone number, but it was like, yeah, he was like, I mean, like he literally for like a few months like was getting calls from people. It might have been like at least like 4 weeks or something. He was getting calls from people and stuff, and he'd just take calls from random fans. It's like a thing.
It's interesting. I think I remember telling you guys that I had Health's phone number in my phone too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
I think I texted them once about like something related to the remix album for Death Magic, so Disco 3. Asking about when it was coming, and I think it was John that texted me back from there and said that it was on the way because it was before the album was out and everything.
Yo, cool.
This reminds me of a thing that happened recently on the rap subreddit, where a man pretended to, well, probably a kid, knowing the general.
Are we talking about HHH?
Yes.
I thought you left Reddit.
Look, don't. I did, and then I went back because I'm stupid.
Partly because HHH.
It's a bad subreddit, and there aren't any good ones. But we can talk about this at another time.
At another time, all right, fair.
But like, this kid was like, yeah. So I got a hold of Raekwon's phone number, and I texted him, pretending to be Kanye West, and he posted a screenshot of the conversation, and
oh man,
and he was like, "Yo," the kid opened with like, "Yo, what's up? It's Ye. I got an Android," and Raekwon just replies back, "This isn't Ye."
This isn't Ye. Oh,
and then they had like an actual phone conversation for a bit, but that wasn't quite as funny. It was mostly just like, guy Raekwon clearly saw like a free publicity opportunity and took it. But
well, I mean,
good, good on him. But I just thought that this ain't Ye.
It's like, oh boy, here we go again.
You alright, Sidney?
No, I was saying him going, oh boy, here we go again. Like, like I can imagine somebody else has probably done this before. Maybe not recently, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, God, like somebody trying to essentially prank Raekwon.
Warframe Runway. Well,
anyway, I have to use the restroom again. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
It's hard to object against subreddits dedicated solely to people showing off how cool they do video games.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I don't want to talk about structural problems of Reddit. It's just like,
Yeah.
So Trey, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Because 7 threatened to blackmail 6 for the murder of 2.
Yep. You got it. You hear that 100x remix album comes out tonight or tomorrow?
Really?
Rather. Yeah.
Nice. I was watching their Genius video that they put out for what was it, Money Machine, and both members of it just had like the completely like the perfect energy, because Laura was talking about the lyrics to her verse on it and was basically just like tired as hell and sounded like half asleep during the whole thing, while Dylan did his verses in a witch and had a giant nose on his face.
You know, that's yeah. That seems about right. I'm not fully in the 100 Gex fan community. I think it's like a little bit intense for me at my age, I think.
I read this really interesting take on them a couple of days ago, though, that was so it was in response to a negative review of their album. I think it was on Rate Your Music or some website, and the person quote tweeted it and said, "Okay, but 100 Gex isn't for Gen Z. Well, it isn't for early millennials. It's for late millennials / early Gen Z people that remember what it was like to vibe to Blue Dabba D on the radio."
Maybe. I don't even think that the people play up the generational aspect a lot. I think that's part of it, but I mostly just think that it's not music for white straight dudes to be snobby about on radio.
Yeah.
It's just not the audience that they're going for.
And one could say much the same of the other artists that have kind of come out of that same sort of appeal. So the Charlie XCXs and Cara Bonitos and the what's the other one? Rina Sawayamas of the world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's kind of refreshing that there's this whole scene that's grown out of, people that aren't necessarily even represented too much in mainstream music, sort of saying, fuck that, we'll build our own thing,
Yeah, it's very DIY.
Yeah. And even Charlie, who's on a major label and has had the whole several radio hits and everything, she feels much more like an artist in that tradition rather than being somebody that grew out of the studio system and everything.
Yeah.
I guess because she's run into label problems and stuff before and has had to self-release her own shit, which happens to a lot of good artists and such, and it's unfortunate, but I think that on the whole, that's probably a bit more appropriate to the type of music that she's always made.
Yeah.
Who?
Charlie XCX.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up because we were talking about 100 Gex and the whole idea of making pop music that doesn't necessarily appeal to a straight white male audience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, just I think you might even be able to just go to straight people are not part of 100 Gex's target demographic. Because I've noticed, because they come up occasionally on r/hip-hop heads, and the vast majority of the subreddit hates them. But the couple other queer people there do not.
Yeah.
So it's obviously not gonna be a 1-to-1 type correlation or anything, because that'd be unrealistic. But there's some music that has always had that sort of association accompanied with it, and it makes for stuff that doesn't always necessarily appeal to that audience as a result of that. So, my mind goes back to the whole disco in the 1970s, having that major backlash against it.
Or rave music in the 90s.
Yeah. Essentially having to reform itself into, the modern house and EDM, essentially, in order for people to accept those ideas. Because, the music doesn't have any necessarily
gendered or orientational associations with it aside from the people that create it, which, isn't necessarily something that a lot of people are always going to understand, because
it's usually subtextual.
Yeah, they see the people that enjoy the music and just go, okay, this is who this is meant for, I guess, and decide for themselves whether or not that's something that they want to engage in. And I guess for me, like, my relationship with electronic music is interesting because I'm not the target audience for a lot of the stuff that I listen to, at least in the theory that one would typically be led to believe, where Black people don't listen to electronic music as a leading part of their audience, which obviously isn't true, but
and
it isn't something that you think of as an inherently African American genre,
which is ironic given that, like, house music, disco, early techno, all that stuff was pioneered by Black American artists.
Yeah, Chicago House, all of them,
and also some Black British artists as well.
You got like even in the that. There's a name for this genre, I'm sure. I don't know what it is, but that whole like little scene, that 100 Gex are part of. You got like Rico Nasty and then like people tend to dismiss that kind of thing as white people music, which I think is not really right.
Look, what are they called? Reptilian something boys?
Yeah.
They are very much not white, and they're even more in that lane of whatever.
I learned about them today, actually.
Yeah, Reptilian Club Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known about them for a little bit. They're not entirely my thing because I think it's like almost too out there, which is funny me saying that, but like in a way that it's like, oh wow, this makes me feel
You're right,
old.
Chedney. You saying that is funny.
I mean, I think it's because it kind of makes me feel old.
I don't know. Like
this is
it.
It's for the youth.
I don't sure. But
I don't have a problem with it. I respect what they're doing.
Yeah, like, sure. I feel like the roots of that kind of music are very, like, stuff that we would have listened to, like, 10 years ago. Like, fucking...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, 100 Gex did a DJ set recently, and the second song they played was the Crazy Frog version of Axel F. Which I feel like...
Man.
That's... It's not... I'm not trying to say that, like, Crazy Frog is the reason that 100 Gex exists, but, like, it's a component.
We're running into the point where aughts core nostalgia is going to be a definitive part of this decade. Like, it's not even necessarily something that is a debate so much as it is a guarantee given the nostalgia filter. But
the Reptilian Boys, the first song I heard by them has a sped up sample of Bad Apple in it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's not a surface level pull. That's
no, not at all. I do think I would like their stuff a little bit more if their subject matter were like less conventional to fit just how out there their production is. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, regardless, I respect what they're doing.
Well, I mean, what you have to remember is that this stuff is like still trying to be pop music, just not like
in the most
top 40,
Yeah, it's like in the most kind of like off-kilter way.
Yeah.
I get that. I can get where they're coming from with that. And also it's the juxtaposition and stuff like that, playing around with, expectations.
God, I actually just remembered that there's a fucking Fall Out Boy feature on the remix album that 100 Gex are dropping tomorrow.
Huh.
Like,
Fall Out Boy, good.
That's absurd. Like, I'm excited to hear the song, but like, that's a lot. You know?
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy are such a peculiar thing.
Fall Out Boy is very like either you were there or you weren't.
Yeah, I mean, I was there, but I wasn't into it.
I
think the funny thing with me is that for the most part, like during the initial period, I wasn't there, and then I got on that train retroactively, like just before the reboot.
Yeah,
and then when the reboot happened, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm part of this now.
I wasn't like a huge pop punk fan when I was a teenager, but I liked it well enough, and I like it as much, like even more nowadays. I have come up with a controversial theory, which is I think that the quote-unquote rock remix of Jumping Out the Window by Ron Browse has been somehow very influential.
Somehow.
That song has auto-tuned rapping, pop punk guitars, and a feature from largely forgotten pop punk band Forever the Sickest Kids. And
Forever the Sickest Kids have been strangely influential for
I see you're jumping out the window, and I raise you. I raise you.
Yeah.
Weezer featuring Lil Wayne.
Yeah, that one too.
Also,
like there's also, a couple
also like just how like it's worth noting that I think it was like in terms of stuff that's like just percolating below the mainstream. I'm just remembering how like in terms of like the whole trap metal thing, you have like Scar-Lord wearing a Winds of Plague shirt with like a hoodie. And like, there's just like all this shit that was like either like just below mainstream, like very popular but not quite like top 40 popular sort of things.
Yeah.
That have been ignored from the 2000s because they were quote unquote embarrassing, like scene kid metalcore.
I'm waiting for somebody. I'm waiting for like the Hollywood Undead apologia to start because I know it's coming.
It already has. Like, no. Like seriously, there exist people who will defend Attila, so there are definitely people who will defend Hollywood Undead.
I don't think I'll ever get on board that particular car of the train, but
Yeah.
More power to them, I guess.
But the thing is, like, stuff like, like MySpace era deathcore has been very influential. Nu metal, very influential. Like, it's all coming back. Like, like, the whole thing of, like, PC music where, reappropriating stuff from, like, the, big sort of boy band and like teen idol pop stuff of the turn of the millennium. They're now producing for Charlie XCX, who is and always will kind of be the pop artist of the future, as you sort of said. Is like that she might never actually be the pop artist of the moment, but she'll always be the pop artist of the future. But she's still a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
also, I didn't.
Is A.G. Cook.
I didn't say that. Todd in the Shadows said
No,
that.
I didn't. No, you quoted. You quoted.
Yeah, okay.
You quoted him, and then added the addendum. She might never be the pop artist of the present.
Yeah.
And I get where you were coming from with that. But like, Yeah, like it's like I know, but it was like, but also I learned that Charlie XCX is of Indian descent.
I didn't know
She's half Desi.
I did not know that. But
so I did not know that.
Go on,
but
Trey.
No, it's interesting. Yes, Trey?
Regarding A.G. Cook, I remember there was some festival, like some online festival that I watched a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it might have been a couple of months ago at this point. I don't know. But he, it was Porter Robinson's Second Sky. He was
I think. Sorry, I didn't.
They had a set where they started off with, like, I want to say, like, 10, 15 minutes of just acoustic guitar, like, stuff.
Makes sense.
Oh.
And like, it was a major fake out, because I don't think that anybody was expecting them to come with anything like that. But I mean, it makes sense given their identity as an artist has always been, doing left field stuff, and acoustic guitar certainly is left field.
Go on.
And then it just goes into the hardest as hell Bauer remix that I've ever fucking heard.
That fucking 100 Gex set that they did that I was talking about earlier was eye-opening. Because, like, I mentioned the Crazy Frog thing. That set opens with, like, a weird dubstep remix of My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. That's the song, and not the remix specifically, but that's the song that I really like, that most people think is, like, an embarrassing piece of cheese.
There was actually, like, an early Pitchfork writer who did one of those 33 1/3 books about, I think, the album that contains My Heart Will Go On, by that one Celine Dion album, because it was like, for so long he'd had, like, this knee-jerk negative reaction to it. So he wanted to actually sit down and get into, like, actually trying to get it. So that's what the book's about.
The idea of someone having to try to get into Celine Dion is really funny to me, which I know there's not the point of that anecdote.
Like, why don't I like this? And why do other people like it? And get inside your own head and figure out your feelings on something like that.
But yeah, so there was, like, a weird remix of that. There was the Hamster Dance. There was Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites by Skrillex, which, sure.
Yeah.
There was a Fall Out Boy song. There was Bass Cannon by the Flux Pavilion. Like,
again, masterpiece.
Hey, it's like, I like that song. It's just one of those ones that, like, I didn't really expect it to have much of a long tail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure. Like, I think that we're gonna run into some really weird, like, revival for the EDM era, because the EDM era, I guess, like, from the early 2010s, like, when stuff like Selfie by the Chainsmokers was starting to go mainstream, and, like, Harlem Shake and all of that. I think that period is over. But what we've gotten in its stead is sort of an assimilation of that within the pop landscape instead. So,
yeah. Also, in terms of outside of mainstream, I've a sort of, indie artist I've been following for a while, Patricia Taxon. A lot of her more recent stuff has a distinct influence from that kind of, that sort of bro step, wobble step kind of thing.
Yeah.
Integrated into sort of more of a very sophisticated, theory-heavy synth pop context, which is very interesting. You get these very intricate, sometimes very rhythmically complex, and certainly harmonically complex synth pop songs that will occasionally just have a full on
by the way
thing happen.
If any of these people start sampling like classic radio rock, I want my cut, because I've done that before in that context.
Nice.
Yeah. Trey probably remembers. That was the one with the blue bird on the cover, the Pink Cocaine album.
Yeah.
I get no respect.
Like Adam Neely has done stuff involving like straight up incorporating like that kind of, like wobble step bass into like arranged jazz / classical third stream music. And he did a video on that, actually. And trying to like actually write a score to satisfy classical music people to explain how it works because of and then just sort of getting into that whole cult of the musical score that a lot of classical music education is kind of like locked into, why it's problematic.
Anyway, we covered a weirdly large amount of ground on this episode.
Oh yeah.
And you thought it was just going to be about Evangelion.
A lot of it was about Evangelion, to be fair.
And Evangelion tries to do a lot of other things.
But we did also talk about other things. So, yeah. We will be back with like a normal episode most likely next week. So,
yeah.
Look forward to that if you enjoy variety. Yeah. I'll see you.